Hey guys, it's Mabasei here, and today we're gonna take a look at a piece of clickbait made by Annamae avatar using Shitlord. It's about cops, so this should be fun.
Hey everyone, it's Lacey Green, and today we're in Hollywood. I'm gonna be asking people their opinions about the police. Let's see what they have to say. All right, so do you think that the police in America are racist?
Yeah, they are.
Good start. Interviewing a person of color. She is a primary example of someone who listens to the liberal media and buys all of it without any sort of research.
So right off the bat, this bitch is just racist for no reason. What was the point of bringing up the fact that she's a person of color? So if she were to interview maybe someone like, say, some black guy, are you saying that he would have the exact same kind of answer because he's a person of color? I imagine that he wouldn't. His videos lead me to believe that he wouldn't. So her race is fucking irrelevant. And then you bring it up for no real reason because then you go back and place the blame at the feet of the liberal media. So which one is it? Is it because she's a person of color? Or is it the liberal media has brainwashed her? Or somewhere in between there? And research? Are you retarded? There's plenty of research, plenty of instances, plenty of like everything. It's kind of obvious that there's bias in policing.
And what area and what city you're from?
Well, we're from the Midwest. We're from Indiana. We live in a smaller town, and it doesn't seem to me that they're racist.
I think a lot of police are racist.
I'm from the South, so I can agree that there are more racist tensions there, but I wouldn't say the cops as a whole are.
I know LAPD, they'll definitely give a good whoop down though. I know that much.
Well, yeah, if they're a criminal or armed, cops' jobs are to protect and serve, not protect and die because they're too scared to be labeled as racist.
And another piece of retardation, like, that was just fucking retarded. No one's ever asking them to die. People are just asking them to, you know, not jump to violence so quickly because they're not really helping. And if you jump to violence a lot, no one's gonna trust the police, and now you can't do your job, and even like more innocent people are in danger because even the people who aren't criminals are now leery of you. Jumping to violence is fucking stupid. Fuck the race shit. You don't have to put that shit, you can put that shit aside. It's just bad practice. You are fucking retarded. And on top of that, you must not know a lot about the LAPD because they're kind of infamous for like beating the fuck out of people when it's not really necessary. Like Don King much? Ronnie King much? Like, are you serious? like that wasn't, maybe you're too young to remember that, but like that was a thing. Like that was all kinds of fucked up. And the LAPD actually beat the shit out of a white guy not some years ago, and they use in their justification of of how dangerous he was during the proceedings of the case, which he won anyway, but like even one of them tried to suggest that because the guy had a large collection of kung fu movies, like they're really fucked out there, and they've got a long history of kicking the shit out of just a little bit of everybody, but especially people of color. And there's been plenty of suits where, you know, they've lost. This is a Google search away. You are retarded. And as always, citation in the description.
It depends on just the people themselves. People of different races may tend to commit more crime.
Now she says, oh, I can't take no more. Her tears like diamonds on the floor, and her diamonds bring me down, 'cause I can't help her now.
Yeah, that almost all that stuff is some weird ass hack job that she didn't even cite in the description, and it's coming from things like the Daily Wire, which is also like incredibly right wing, which is, you know, calls out the video she's responding to for being biased, and then chooses a biased source herself to attempt to back up some claim, which are still Yeah, like some of the stuff just didn't even make any sense. Like you're looking at Chicago and Atlanta, like there's a lot of blacks there, so a lot of the robbery and murder in those places is going to be just like that. Like you can find that same chart with overwhelmingly white in a place like Maine, which linked in the description, like that's a thing. Like armed robbery is overwhelmingly a white crime in Maine. And the same thing in other fucking places that are based with like almost like no minorities around. And if we could play the same game, like as far as criminals go, like there are more black veterans than there are black criminals. So why are we treating most blacks a lot of times? Why are we treating most blacks like criminals when there's more of them who are veterans? For what reason? That makes no sense. There are far more blacks who have enrolled or served in the armed forces than there are blacks who've ever committed a crime and been convicted or whatever, are in dangerous in some way. So why treat them that way? And why don't we treat white males as if we should be, you know, leery of them around children, right? Or hell, and above them, like what, like why don't we treat, you know, maybe natives that way or something? Like we don't do that, you know, because like you could say like, oh, it's disproportionate. Like 80% of all you know, sexual crimes committed against a child under 12 was done by a white guy, and there were about 30 to between, I think like 38% of the American population. So that's like over over 2 times of, you know, their makeup of the country, just white guys. But we don't run around treating them as if they're all, you know, possibly pedophiles. So I don't buy this bullshit about using statistics to assess how you treat individual people you meet on the street, especially on something that's on a crime that's on a steady downturn, such as fucking murder. Especially that's just fucking stupid. There's no way to justify that. And also, just because you've possibly committed a crime, it's innocent until proven guilty. You can't treat people any old way you feel like just because you think they did something, or maybe if you saw it, that's not your call. They're not judge, jury, and executioner. Unless they can substantiate that they are in fact in immediate danger, there is no reason for them to be treating people in the way that they've treated people in various cases. Like this is some of the weakest cop apologetics ever.
So never really had to deal with cops.
Right. I mean, we're all white.
Yeah.
We're all white, so we don't have to deal with that. Yeah.
Do you guys see how smug Lacey becomes when she gets the answer she wants?
Do you mean the statistically consistent lack of random police interactions that white Americans tend to not have? You mad or nah?
I think it's a possibility that police, because they are racist.
And then she completely derails her opinion with her own personally politically correct thought.
Because they are racist, pay more attention to people of color, for instance.
Well,
Just an idea. I'm just spitballing here.
That's food for thought. That is. You keep throwing out good questions and make me wonder.
When you're not used to another culture, you might be afraid of that culture. So.
Right.
Yes, especially those who commit crimes at significantly higher rates than others, despite making up only 13% of the population.
Yeah, but it's still not enough of them committing crime to the point where you should be scared of every single one that you interact with. Like, there should be no reason why random stop and frisks end in slams, or random pulling people over should end in people hanging themselves in jail cells, or anything stupid like that. Like, it makes no sense. As I said, there are more black veterans than there are black criminals. So why do we pay more attention to the fact that, you know, that there are black criminals than we do to black veterans? And on top of that, you know, the majority of black people actually aren't in jail. So, like, why is this tiny percentage of the black population being highlighted and being used to browbeat other black people and to explain away why they're being targeted?
I think that's how it starts.
Fear is a big factor. Now, if fear is a big factor with the common man, policemen are just human.
Yeah.
They have the same emotions. They have fear too.
So what do you think that we should do about this problem?
It's never going to change. Are you serious? We're just hoping, but nothing's going to happen.
I mean, you could try to do something within the system, but police have so much power on their own, that's not really going to help.
Probably because their job is to protect people at all costs.
That contradicts your first statement. You said that
Cops' jobs are to protect and serve, not protect and die because they're too scared to be labeled as racist.
so it's at all costs except for, you know, to themselves. You literally just said this like no more than 2 or 3 minutes ago in this video. Are you serious? Is this bitch serious?
So powerful, I think, you know, probably tell them something, they wouldn't listen.
I think that maybe the police forces need to culturally represent the communities that they serve.
I think training is also important, that training when the job is begun and continuously to be sensitive to these issues.
So I'm going to have you put the holster on right inside your belt loop there.
Jarrett Maupin gets his weapon. You might recognize him as a high-profile organizer in the minority community. Just last month, he led marches on Phoenix Police headquarters after an officer shot an unarmed man.
We want his badge, we want his gun, we want his job.
Today, he accepted an invitation to look at things from the other side, agreeing to go through a force-on-force training session with the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office. 3 scenarios where you have to decide to shoot or not shoot. Scenario 1 is a call about a man casing cars in a parking lot. Maupin approaches the man and starts asking questions.
What? You're looking for your vehicle. What kind of car do you drive?
Where you have your hand in your gun?
What kind of car do you drive?
It's my car, man.
Oh.
Maupin, the officer, is shot. It happens that fast.
At what time did you think that it was time for you to address the use of force that was given? When he came to the back of the vehicle, and was hiding. You know, I could sense something was wrong.
Scenario 2, a call of 2 men fighting.
What's going on today, gentlemen?
What's wrong with you?
What's going on today, gentlemen?
What do you want?
What's happening here?
What's wrong with you?
Back up.
Huh? What are you doing, man? Hey!
Hey, he shouldn't approach me. He shouldn't approach me. He shouldn't approach me. He shouldn't approach me.
What happened in there?
Yeah.
What are you doing? You just shot him?
Hey, he rushed me. Tell me why you shot. Well, I've shot because he was within that zone. You know, I felt there was an imminent threat. I didn't necessarily see him armed, but he came clearly to do some harm to the officer, to my person. It's hard to make that call. It shakes you up.
Again, an unarmed man was shot. Scenario 3, a call about a possible burglar walking down the street. Maupin gets him on the ground. He's not complying.
I need you to keep your hands up, sir.
For what?
Because I need to check that waistband.
Well, why? What are you doing,
Because I don't know what you have under there.
Everybody, look at this guy. What are you doing?
No shots fired, but the suspect did have a hidden knife in his waistband. I went through the scenarios too, without seeing what Maupin did.
Well, do you have keys, or do you have anything to show me that?
Don't worry about
No, I need to talk to you. Come on out over here. Well, I'm dead. Maricopa County Sheriffs, get on the ground. Get on the ground. Both of you, get on the ground. Get on the ground.
For what?
Get back. Get back.
Same results for both of us. Things happen very fast out here. I asked Maupin what his biggest takeaway from this exercise will be.
I didn't understand how important compliance was, but after going through this, yeah, my attitude has changed. This is all unfolding in 10 to 15 seconds. People need to comply with the orders of law enforcement officers for their own sake.
Video shot in Camden, New Jersey shows a man with a knife. He's waving that knife and is confronted by police.
Sir, drop the knife or I will tase you. Make a shot.
This is the kind of video that might have gone viral if the incident had ended violently. It didn't. No shots were fired, and no headlines were made. Camden County Police consider this a validation of the de-escalation tactics that they've been promoting. Here's NPR's Kevin Leahy.
So are we here right now?
We're here. This is the location.
We are at Broadway and Martin Luther King in the middle of Camden. The city struggles with high crime, lots of drugs and guns, but the county police department has been working really hard to improve its image. Officers are hoping to recast themselves as guardians rather than warriors. I'm here with two of them.
I'm Officer Christopher Devlin.
Officer Cabria Davis.
We're here because this is where that call came in last November.
Anyone else in the area, start out, male with a knife.
Officer Davis was on this sidewalk when a man high on PCP burst out of a restaurant holding a steak knife.
You know, he starts like jabbing in our direction with the knife. Like
Davis's first reflex?
Let me go to my gun in case he tries to lunge at me. I have to have some type of defense. It was just nerve-wracking because you got 100 different things and you got to make a split-second decision at that time. You're like, okay, do I do this?
Davis relied on her training. She knew that to de-escalate this situation, she'd really have to slow things down.
You know, I don't want to take this man's life if there's another way to do this. Let me put it away and try another approach. Let us try to get him to an area that we know we can control him to a certain extent and use whatever other options we have.
Officer Devlin showed up as backup.
I got him. Drop the knife.
That's him on the video taking charge.
You always want one person to be talking because you get voices from all over the place. It's going to confuse somebody even more.
Other officers cleared the area ahead of the man with the knife to protect bystanders and remove anyone who might have provoked him. They surrounded him, but loosely.
You got 6, 7 officers rushing one person. That might escalate his behavior.
And they took their time. The slow foot chase eventually ended when the man just dropped the knife. Davis and Devlin earned Officer of the Week honors for the way they handled the arrest. Across the country, big city departments like Los Angeles and Philadelphia are starting to draw attention to officers who have shown restraint in the line of duty. They're giving them medals. So it seems like we're on the edge of a big change in policing, right?
The academy training on paper looks reasonable.
Constance Rice is a civil rights attorney. She advises President Obama on policing. She's interviewed hundreds of young officers, many of whom told her they were initially taught one thing.
But as soon as they get in the squad car with their first training officer, who's a grizzled old sergeant, well, they told me forget all that we learned in the academy. They're going to teach us how to survive on the street.
Back at Camden County Police Headquarters, they're aware of that challenge. Lieutenant Kevin Lutz, the chief instructor, says a core group of veteran officers serve as mentors to new recruits. He also said not every situation can be de-escalated. At times, his officers will have to use force, even deadly force. But if they've built a strong enough track record of showing restraint,
when these serious incidents happen, we now have credibility with the community.
That credibility, he says, can't be overvalued. Kevin Leahy, NPR News.
Tupac said it the best. He said, the police are the biggest gang. They got helicopters.
There you have it. That's what the people out here in Hollywood think. Let me know what you think about this down below, and I'll see you next time with more MTV Braless.
And that's about where the video ends. There's nothing much there except some silly, goofy, screen-recorded, like, ragey bullshit at the fact that the comments are disabled because, you know, nobody wants their cancerous crap flooding whoever's notifications that's going to be showing up in. So, of course, they turned it off because people like you fucking are horrid. And after that, it just pimps her links, which is what I'm about to do. So on the screen now, you should be seeing the last couple of videos that I've made and a subscribe button. So, you know, check those out, hit that subscribe button, rate this video, rate those videos, and I'll see you guys later.